All right, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whichever time zone you're listening in. I'm Jason Scott, your host.
And also your host, David Reagan.
And we're here to pump you up, right?
That's it.
Got a great little show lined up for you for tonight. Little past lives, memories from young children, huh?
Yes, I love this kind of stuff right here.
So, David, take her away.
Well, I want to thank everybody for listening. Also want to tell everybody that you can come visit us at paranormal411.org. Sign up, become a member. It's free. Don't cost anything, right, Jason?
Yep, totally free.
Totally free. And also, visit us on Twitter, Facebook, and also on YouTube at Paranormal411. Right, Jason?
Oh,
we also have
yeah.
a book. And definitely need to look at this book. It's a 5-star Amazon rated book. And it's a nice little coffee table book, right?
Oh, yeah. You don't even have to read it. Just get it and look at it.
That's it. It's beautiful just to look at it. The name of it is East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore. Or you can look it up by looking up David Reagan or Jason Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Also want to mention a good friend of ours and a good friend of the show, Eddie from Legends and Lore Pizzeria. Want to sit there and give him a shout out and say, everybody, if you're in Madisonville, Tennessee, you definitely need to check them out because they're great pizza, great wings, awesome atmosphere. And Eddie has tons of stories that he could tell you. All you have to do is say, hey, Eddie, tell me some good stories.
Oh, yeah. Also, if you're in the Loudon area here in Tennessee, you can, and if you like history, we got Bo Carey's history tours. Right, David?
Yes, those things are awesome.
He has a full moon cemetery tour and also a historic home tour, I believe.
Yep.
And just a, general Loudon history tour. So if you're into that,
yes.
You can check him out at bocareyhistorytours.weebly.com. Book your tour right there online, and he'll take care of you.
Yeah, and Jason, I've been to 2 of his haunting tours, and they're awesome.
Yeah, it's the best. He'll start having a few good ones this time of year.
Yeah, we're getting closer to Halloween.
Also, if you like Halloween and you're in the area, remember Scream Fest in Athens, Tennessee. October 1st, we're going to be there. It's at the Klieg Mansion in Athens, Tennessee. We'll be set up, so come by and see us.
Yeah, definitely come visit us and, hey, buy a book. We'll sign up for you.
Oh, yeah. We sure will. So we're going to take a quick, short break to get these commercials put in there, and we'll see you back here in just a minute.
Thanks for listening to the show. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Paranormal411. Join us on the website at paranormal411.org. It's free to sign up and become a member. All of our upcoming shows are on the guest and events page. You can also listen to past shows on the website as well. And if you like the show and want to support us, you can do that by becoming a premium member for only $2 a month. Thanks for listening to Paranormal 411. Join us.
All right, we're coming back. Guess who that is?
Woo! Catalyst, East Tennessee.
Catalyst, East Tennessee, playing on the podcast. I want to thank them for letting us use their music. Also, they're going to have a concert here in Knoxville, September 24th. Doors open at 6 p.m. at the Open Chord in Knoxville. So if you get a chance,
don't miss it.
Yeah, if you get a chance, come see them. You won't regret it. Me and David
Definitely
will be
not.
there.
Yeah, we'll sign your shirt or something there.
Yeah, since we're all big and famous, you know.
Right.
Yeah, 5-star Amazon, baby.
Woo!
For real. It'd be a good show. Come out and see, support Catalyst. And if you like their music, or you can go to, where is it, David?
You go to our website, and right on the front page, paranormal411.org, right on the front page on the right-hand side, you can see their link, and you click on it, or you could go to Bandcamp and look them up.
Oh, yeah. So, we'll go ahead and get into the show here. We'll be talking about past live memories. Our first one, the late Dr. Eli Lasch, who is best known for his medical work in Gaza as part of Israeli's government operations, studied the case of a 3-year-old boy who lived near the border of Syria and Israel. The boy had said that he had remembered being killed with an axe in his previous life. He showed the village elders where his body was buried, where the murder weapon was, and he identified his killer.
Wow.
Yeah. Could you imagine? So a body with a head was indeed, with a head wound was indeed found in the spot that he told them. And the axe was also found, and the killer admitted to what he had done. But ain't no such thing, are they?
It don't exist. It's all in our heads.
Oh. David, I want you to tell your past life story.
Well, I'll tell you, it was kind of a little background. You know, growing up, we was pretty old before we started getting TVs and stuff in the house, because of religious reasons and stuff. But so when I say the story, that I had nothing as a kid that I watched or saw that I could draw this information from. But I used to have dreams all the time of being a pilot, and looking back on it now, I think it was probably World War II, and me and my co-pilot got shot down. We bailed out of the plane, and it used to scare my mom, because when I would have this reoccurring dream, it happened all the time to me. I would jump off the top bunk bed, and now this is in my sleep, you know, and then crash and land on the ground because I just jumped out of the plane. And
would you wake up when you hit the ground?
I usually would not. Usually my mom running in there screaming at me is what woke me up. Yeah, but I would wake up feeling like I was there. And then I had another one that was really vivid on a Boy Scout trip. And me and my stepdad went. I set up my pup tent, and we went to sleep that night. And I thought I woke up. It wasn't a dream. I mean, I guess it was a dream because it wasn't really happening, but I was all of a sudden in a war. And I jumped out of my tent because I heard bombs going off. And now here I am in the middle of West Texas barefooted, which is, if anybody lives out that way knows, you don't walk around barefooted in West Texas. But, you know, I'm getting shot at and stuff, and I'm diving down and shooting back. You know, and I remember when I stood up out of my tent, I looked down at myself, and I was in, like, all green. Not like camouflage. It was green shirt, green pants. It was all green. And I was running down this kind of like this road thing, and I was diving off the side and shooting back, And it was so realistic. I could smell the gunpowder in the air. And what finally woke me up is that I was sleepwalking at that time also. And what woke me up was the whole bottom of both of my feet were covered in thorns, and I was probably a good almost mile away from where we were camping at. Yeah.
That's
so I had to
pretty wild.
sit down, pick all those thorns out of my feet, and then walk back. Yeah, and you know, was the weirdest thing about it all was remembering the smell of the gunpowder and everything in the air. You know, I mean, it was just so surreal. And I really honestly believe that I was remembering a past life.
You know, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I've got a story here of something similar.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, it's so close to what you're...
That's fascinating.
So, Dr. Jim Tucker of the University of Virginia studied the case of James Leninger of Louisiana, who was 2 years old when he began having nightmares of crashing in a plane. Yeah, that's what he said, that and he was having nightmares just like you.
That's crazy.
He said that he was shot down by the Japanese, and that his plane took off from the Natoma ship, and that he had a friend named Jack Larson. He also suggests that his name was James in the previous life. So, there was, they looked the records up, and there was indeed a World War II pilot named James Houston Jr., whose life and death matched all these details. He was also able to identify from a photograph the site where Houston's plane crashed. That's something, ain't it?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't ever remember, remembering names or anything like that, but at the same time, it was definitely something that stuck with me. Definitely something that stuck with me.
Yeah. So I have another one here. Let's see. A retired assistant fire chief, Jeffrey Keene, felt inexplicably overcome with emotion and strange physical sensations when he visited the site of a Civil War battle as a tourist. So when discussing these sensations later, the words "not yet" appeared strongly in his mind. So he took a new interest in the Civil War, and while flipping through a magazine on the topic, the words "not yet" in quotation marks jumped out at him. General John B. Gordon had emphatically repeated "not yet" while holding his troops back at the Battle of Antietam.
Antietam.
Yeah, Antietam.
Yeah.
The physical resemblance between himself and Gordon also, was very close. They looked just alike. And many of King's fire crew seemed to resemble people who fought for Gordon. And King discovered other similarities between himself and Gordon, including birthmarks on his body where Gordon had been injured. This case was studied by Dr. Simke, a psychiatrist who works as a reincarnation expert at the Institute of Science.
Wow.
So he actually had marks where he was wounded when he got killed.
A lot of people say that a lot of birthmarks are that.
You got any birthmarks?
I do.
Did you get shot in the tushy?
It literally is
In
right
the
below my
buttocks?
butt. It's, yeah. It
Something
literally
just jumped up and bit me on the buttocks.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just guessing.
Well, that's a pretty good guess there, Jason. Pretty dang good guess. But I don't know. I don't know what would leave the impression that I have on my buttocks. But hey, you know.
So I have another one. 4-year-old remembers his past life in Hollywood.
Oh.
So Ryan was 4 years old when he began talking of his past life in Hollywood, which he said ended when he had a heart attack. A book about Hollywood triggered further memories. He saw a picture from the 1932 movie Night After Night and said he was friends with a man in the movie who was a cowboy and also an actor in a cigarette commercial. Gordon Nance was an actor in this movie. He starred in westerns and was a spokesman for Viceroy cigarettes. Ryan identified a picture of his past self, a man named Marty Martin. And Ryan remembered correctly the scene Martin had acted in detail of Martin's life, such as his time tap dancing on Broadway, his 3 younger sisters, and the color of his car. And there was a doctor that investigated the case, and he verified that Ryan's memories with Martin's remaining family members. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
It is. Let's see. A Lebanese boy correctly tells details of his past life. Dr. Haraldson traveled to Lebanon to investigate the case of a boy named Nazi. He began telling his parents about his past life almost as soon as he could talk. He spoke proudly about all his weapons. He used words his parents didn't expect him to know at that age. He showed an unusual interest in cigarettes and whiskey.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. He talked of a mute friend who had only one hand. Said he had a red car and said he died when people came to shoot at him. Huh.
Wow.
So this kid led people to the home of his past life in a small town about 10.5 miles away from his current home. And a man named Fod once lived there, and the details of his life exactly match what the boy said.
Wow.
Even the man's widow asked the boy multiple questions to test him, including who built the foundation of the gate at the entrance of the house. And he replied, a man from the Faraj family. And she said that was correct. What do you think? Have I got you? Well, you've always believed it. How about you, listeners?
I've always.
Do you
I
believe?
have believed in it. I think that that it's something that's hard, like what we talked about last night. I really think that it's something that should be. It's pretty hard to refute, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I believe it's hard. It would be hard to refute.
Yeah, it's when you got all these accounts of it, and you know.
And then how detailed, and these are like young kids. Like most of these that you was talking about are young kids that had memories of this past life, that had no way of looking this stuff up, had no way of checking it out and making up this elaborate story and everything. They already had a memory of it. So, I mean, you know, how could you even debunk it? I guess that would be a good question, right? How would you debunk it? Because I just, you know, maybe my mind's too small. I just don't see how you could debunk it. Not when it's little kids.
I've got one more. And this one was on A&E. The A&E network.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the show The Ghost Inside My Child. So, Luke was 2 years old when he started talking to his parents. And they lived in Cincinnati, Ohio, about a past life in which he had black hair and was a woman named Pam. And he said he died in a building fire in Chicago after trying to escape by jumping out the window. So researchers found that there was an African American woman named Pamela Robinson who had died in 1993 in a fire at the Paxton Hotel in Chicago. Guess what? She jumped out the window while the building burned. And Luke's parents asked him what color his skin was when he was Pam. And he replied without hesitation, black. So his mother printed out several photographs of the African American woman, including one of Robinson. Luke pointed to the photo of Robinson and said, "That's Pam." So, and that story was told on the A&E network program, The Ghost Inside My Child.
Wow.
If you want to hear more about it.
That's pretty fantastic, though.
Yep. So, past lives or no past lives? Past lives. 100%.
I believe it.
I mean,
Again,
even with the oldest religion in the world even tells us of reincarnation, right?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Yep. So,
absolutely.
I guess that's about all I got right now for past life cases.
Well, I think that was a very good show.
You got to tell yours, right?
Yeah. You know, that's a story I haven't told on our show very much, have I?
No, maybe one time.
Yeah. Yeah. I had all kinds of weird stuff happening to me when I was a kid, didn't I?
Yeah. Chased by ghosts, spirits, past life regressions.
Yeah. And when I was a kid, I was just confused about them. You know what I mean? I talked to my mom and stuff about them, but I was really confused about the dreams because they were so realistic. You know?
Yeah. Now, I did have one realistic dream, but I couldn't tell you hardly anything about it. All I remember is I was in a creek with a chainsaw.
Well,
and I cut my leg, so I don't know if that's how I croaked or what.
Wow.
Maybe not. But that was a vivid dream because I was like hearing the chainsaw when I woke up.
Oh, man. Did you reach down to make sure your leg was still there?
I probably did. I can't remember, but I probably did.
I can imagine because I think I would. I'd be like, oh, no.
All right. Remember to join us again this week, maybe tomorrow. We never know.
Never know. Stay tuned and you will know, though.
Oh, yeah.
Also go to paranormal411.org or to Facebook at Paranormal411 and look up, our upcoming guests are listed so you could read about them and everything else. Right,
yes,
Jason?
we got one upcoming interview with Dr. Christopher Macklin.
Very interesting.
He's
going to talk to us about the Archons, and he's going to talk to us about the Galactic Federation and all kinds of good stuff.
He's a big UFO alien expert.
Yes. Yeah. Been on all kinds of really big shows. So we're proud to have him come on Paranormal 411 with us.
Yep, and that will be September 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on paranormal411.org. So, and it'll be on Spreaker too and Podbean.
Right.
Anything else before we kick out of here?
I think that's it.
All right. I guess we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.
Thanks for listening to the show. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Paranormal411. Join us on the website at paranormal411.org. It's free to sign up and become a member. All of our upcoming shows are on the guest and events page. You can also listen to past shows on the website as well. And if you like the show and want to support us, you can do that by becoming a premium member for only $2 a month. Thanks for listening to Paranormal 411. Join us.